Hello, winners, and welcome to the Wrong Button Podcast, the show where we talk all things nerd, most things video games, and generally anything that tickles our fancy. Mr. Adrian Chamblee,
Hello.
are you ready to take probably the worst trip down memory lane you can actually take?
I've been through worse.
You've
So,
been through worse than Silent Hill?
you haven't been working at my job, so yeah.
I've been working in capitalism and the downfall of America. I've been through worse than what Silent Hill can offer. That's
Yeah.
it's a little real.
Silent Hill's like was like Christmas to me.
Pyramid Head, meet a Karen.
Oh gosh.
Mr. Pyramid Head, I want to speak to your manager.
Just rips
Uh,
skin off and throws it at the
yeah, just keeps poking and like giving it a migraine by just poking the actual metal head.
Oh my gosh. Good grief.
I for everyone who wasn't aware, because of life and everything else, at time zones, I wanted to do a Too Spooky podcast, talking about Silent Hill with Adrian because Adrian, you've played through, I'm gonna say 90% of these, with the exception of the new one.
Um well, I actually did beat F. I got the first ending in F. I've beaten
Okay.
Home Cut. What's it?
I was saying, okay, sorry.
Oh, okay, my bad. No, I did beat F. I beat Homecoming. I've beaten one, two, three, and four, multiple times. I've beaten. Oh yeah, Downpour. I've beaten that one too. So the ones I haven't
Hmm.
beaten were. I haven't beaten Origins, unfortunately. I do want to go back and try and beat that one. I couldn't really get into Shattered Memories. I'm not a big fan of the whole run and hide mechanic in that. And what was another one that came out? Is that what I
Was
missed?
Shattered Memories the one on the Wii?
Yeah, it's on the Wii and PS2.
Okay. So I've played two, was it? I think it's two and three from the HD collection. And then I've also done Horncoming. I'm sorry, Homecoming. Um, Downpour. Mrs. Play and I have started Silent Hill F. Um, but we're still relatively early into that, and I understand that you have to beat it like four times to get the true ending of that game. Um,
Exactly. I need to start my second one.
which I honestly, that probably has me excited, um, based on some things between Silent Hill 2 and Silent Hill 2 remake. Without anything, let's get into it. Where is your So I came into my introduction to Silent Hill was Super Best Friends Play. Um, I've watched them play all of them, and then I went back and very, very horribly slogged through one and then two and three on the HD collection.
Okay. Um so with me, well, it's a long story kind of. It starts when let's go back to 2009. I was 11 years old. It was January, and it was on a Sunday afternoon. My cousin is also a gamer. My oldest cousin, she's a gamer, and she brings to my house this game called Silent Hill. I was like, I never heard of this game before. What is this? And looked at the looked in the back and read, oh, you get in a car crash. You're in this town looking for your daughter. I'm like, that's interesting, and I didn't think much else of it. I mean, it was in my mind, but I didn't know what type of game it was going to be. I didn't think too hard on it. Um, so later that day, it was It was nighttime actually. I go in my brother's room. Me and my brother shared a room, so it's technically my room too. I go in there, and it's my oldest cousin. Her and my brother were playing the game, and they were in the school, and it was dark, and I wasn't really into survival horror at that time too. So because this stuff kind of scared me, I was still scared of Resident Evil, but Silent Hill was it made Resident Evil look like Barney. Yeah.
I
It-
I mean, let's see, 2009. I just graduated. Um, so I just graduated high school and was like firmly enlisted in the military at that time. Uh, so I remember, I think it was shortly before that is when the remakes came out because I was in high school when the remakes came out, and I played those remakes first because I remember like hearing that no, these are two of the greatest horror games ever, and people were like, no, these are terrible. And hearing they were some of the worst remakes that had ever been made.
yeah, the remakes, the HD remakes on the 360 and PS3. I didn't buy those because I heard how bad they were. And I remember watching this person's video, and like he was like really breaking down like all the glitches and everything. I was like, good grief.
Did you ever see how the enemies like spawned in that game?
I can't remember.
Oh, so they actually it's this really cool thing because it used to be so for those you guys just do like a I guess a brief synopsis before we like start diving into this because I like for me I think Silent Hill is such a great I know it's a horror game, but it feels like so much more than that. It's a great like psychological thriller. Um where I would say the stories of a good Silent Hill are the equivalent of like Stanley Kubrick's The Shining, or if anyone has watched The Haunting of Hill House on Netflix. Um, to me, which are just these really great, creepy movies that eat at you. And I think Silent Hill as a franchise does that. But Silent Hill is a town and typically it's in somewhere in rural America. Mrs. Play and I, because of like the coal mines and stuff, she's like 95% positive it would be West Virginia or Pennsylvania. Um, and it's this quaint little town that seems to be connected to something else. Um, and I guess this is where it really starts to get interesting because um, what when it comes to a Silent Hill, what is it that you really like to see for one? Are you a fan of, because I believe like what is it, one and three are more just a horror game where you get to this town and the town's the town is its own spooky monster and stuff is happening? Or are you a fan of almost the two and I would say Homecoming and Downpour especially where the town is because of your psyche and your own like levels of grief or guilt?
Um, well, the thing is with I do like the cult storyline with one and three. I do like that, and four actually touched on that too. Believe it or not. Um,
Four was the room, right?
yeah, it did kind of touch on
Okay.
that because the main bad guy. Spoilers for everybody. The main bad guy, Walter Sullivan, he was part of the cult too.
Wasn't he mentioned in two?
Yes, he was. And here's another thing,
Um,
and here's another thing too for four. James's dad, Frank's James's dad is in four as well. He's Frank Sutherland. I want to say he's the manager of the apartment building you're in.
oh, is he?
Yeah.
Huh. Yeah, because I've recently just played through two, or two remake. That's been the one that I know the most, along with like Homecoming. Because the cult storylines for me, um, I think it's interesting because it does allow Silent Hill just to be a horror game, and it's supernatural, but it also kind of it gives you a reason for an enemy. Um, Whereas for the psychological ones, some enemies are really good hits. Like when you play Silent Hill 2 and you've got, the nurses, you've got the leg monsters, the lying figure, um, even 3 to some extent aren't is it Sherry that you play as in 3? Um,
3, Heather. Uh, well,
Heather,
Cheryl, Heather, same person.
Cheryl. Um, but a lot of the monsters in this one, if I'm not mistaken, are kind of based on some rapey vibes
And
because of sexual assault.
Tibet 3.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I didn't really catch that until not too long ago. Because I went through the game. I think like the enemies in Silent Hill 3, the enemy designs are not good for me personally. Not because of what they represent. I just think the designs aren't really all that great. But hearing what they represent, like it's a lot of rapey vibes. There's also birth, I believe, impregnation, stuff like that too.
Yes. Which we kind of got to see with the and see now I'm doing the podcast. With the daddy. Oh God, what was the name of
Oh, and 2,
Angela's dad?
Abstract Daddy.
Yeah, abstract daddy. With like the dad and the brother being on what is clearly a bed, and it's like a single. It has like a wireframe. It's very similar to like a bed that I would have seen in the '90s, like in a girl's room, uh, in the '90s. And I think it was a really good like looking at it now. I'm like, oh my god, it makes me feel so disgusted when I look at it, and I think
Yeah.
that's one of the great reasons of its design. But then you get games like Silent Hill, Homecoming. I'm sorry, Silent Hill Homecoming and Silent Hill Downpour, which, in my personal opinion, are probably two of the weakest monster designs in any Silent Hill. Um,
Well, the thing is, I don't
it,
know what the monster's supposed to represent in Silent Hill, Homecoming and Downpour. I don't know what they're supposed. What they're.
it's the whole thing is you're a prisoner who like goes through the outskirts of Silent Hill, and your entire job is, or the entire thing is like, you were possibly wrongly convicted, or I think one of the things is that like depending on what you do, um and how you like act throughout that game, the changes like, did you do it or did you not do it? And kind of that like it feels like it really adds to the. Sorry, I'm trying to think how to phrase that. Silent Hill Downpour came out at the same time when making choices was really big,
Yep.
and Mass Effect, I believe, is would have been like a contemporary of its time just by the games that have come out. But it felt like, oh, did you make a good choice or a bad choice? And a lot of the creatures, like for a game series that I think got really big when you look at, Silent Hill 3, Silent Hill 2, and creating monsters that are very thematic and supposed to be like, this is representative of someone dying. This is somebody who is feeling guilty about sexualizing female orderlies. This is, supposed to be impregnation. And then you get to like Silent Hill. Downpour, and it's like, this is a tall albino fish person.
Yeah,
You're
they
chased by the boogeyman.
the boogeyman that looks like Pyramid Head.
See, I'm sitting here looking at a picture of him. I get more Professor, or not Professor X, Mr. X vibes out of him, like with the gas mask and like the trench coat. Um,
Oh,
let's see.
I think that's from wasn't that in that was Downpour, right?
Yeah, Downpour. That's what I'm talking
Okay,
about.
so
Yeah.
okay, I was thinking Homecoming. Because Homecoming he's called the book Homecoming the Pyramid Head in there is called Boogeyman. That's what threw me off.
Oh, it says it's I guess um that's so weird. I'm trying to like look at all the different monsters from Silent Hill Homecoming. Um it's so weird because it when you go through, you have the first Silent Hill, there's a cult. You have the second one, and it's this great psychological horror about how you feel about guilt. Uh, maybe we're just gonna go into it. How you feel about guilt for killing your wife, and then getting a letter from her saying that no, you didn't kill me. I'm still alive. Um, and so you go through this town and this entire journey. And I think that actually sets itself up to be such an amazing thing for Silent Hill, where it's like, okay, you did a horror game, and the rest of them, I think Silent Hill very easily can follow that lineage where it's like, hey, this is what's going on with this person's life. Now let's make a horror game about it. So with James, his wife is dead. We don't know why, but he's getting a letter from her. Go. And I don't know how. What is your take on the whole like Silent Hill as a psychological horror to like attack you? I guess.
I never thought about that, honestly. Yeah, I never really thought about that. Like, um, attack me as a psychological horror. Um, uh, I do think the stories they tell are really interesting though. Even some of the bad ones, like in Homecoming and in Downpour, there's some themes that are still pretty interesting, but like, well, with two in particular, I think that's the one that hit the most as a
I
psychological
think,
horror.
and I think the reason two hits the most is because one, they're doing it for the first time. So I know we can do brief spoilers into F especially, um, because I know like the premise of F is like you're in like 1960s Japan, and F could be five, F could be feminism, and it's this is how like women are perceived and treated in that game. Um, you're more of a tomboy, so you don't necessarily fit in. But there are like monsters in that game that their attack to you is flipping up your skirt for the most
Yeah,
part.
yeah. Or that one, there's one enemy that literally licks you. It's like,
Yeah,
wow.
and I think because when you go from 2 to F, so if you were to go like, okay, 2 is your massive guilt from killing your wife and all the feelings, that conflicting feelings you had when she was sick, to Silent Hill F and being like disgusted at men because of how you're treated in society, you get this beautiful culmination of monsters that actually mean something and that
Yeah,
are like not only horrifying because like they're creepy looking, but also because no, it represents a real thing, a real conflict, or a real problem in society.
yeah, Yeah. F really did a good job of like getting back to that psychological horror, I think. F kind of felt like in purposes kind of felt like a mix between 2 and 3 cuz 3 I felt also dealt with a lot with being a woman, and I mean I'm not a woman, but like with Heather being a woman and like kind of stuff she goes through in a sense. And F of course goes through that with Hinako, and also with stuff with two, kind of like the sexualization too, with sexualization in a sense with two, and you kind of see stuff like that in F as well, but like in a different way.
And I think in F, seeing just perverted men who are going
Exactly.
to treat you horribly, it's still sexualization, and it's still like horrific to look at, but for a completely other reason. Um,
Exactly.
I think that's one of the ways that like Homecoming really dropped the ball. Because Homecoming, one of the, like the things that, especially if you're talking about here in America, with how many like wars we've been in since, kind of our founding, and then post World War II and becoming like you know, Team America World Police. But have a soldier returning home to Silent Hill and then being like, "Hey, here is a horrific thing that like you've been through, and and like, okay, what are the monsters that you're bringing home with you?"
Like prisoners or
And
something
it
like
feels,
that.
yeah, prisoners of war. I'm sitting here like looking through them all, and I'm like, huh, what are these supposed to be? Like what are, like, none of the monsters here feel like anything. Like there is like a human centipede like monster, um, but like there's nothing in here I think that feels like, okay, what would you have seen? Like the one is like a massive of human bodies, but they're all female. And when you think about like war in general, it's like that's typically, unless I don't know, I guess they could have been going for that. We did just carpet bomb all over Vietnam.
Yeah. Or like look at the nurses. The nurses are just Silent Hill 2 nurses. They didn't even like I heard someone called the movie nurses.
Okay, so I'm gonna throw this out there. I understand, like, take what you will about the Silent Hill movies.
Hmm.
The first Silent Hill movie, I know it has some pacing issues and they cut out some scenes that make parts of that movie not feel right. But what they did for the nurses and the monsters in that movie are top 10.
I agree. I
Like,
love the Silent Hill
uh,
movie.
yeah, hiring was it gymnasts or
Dancers.
acrobats, dancers, so that way they could move and freeze and hold position
Yep.
is so genius. Like one of the like best ways I think that you could easily depict them, and still give you that like, okay, it's kind of sexy, but you get that uncanny valley, burn it with fire.
The one that really like kind of grossed me out was the janitor, the homemade monster they had. That
Was that
was
in
that was in the first movie.
they put the
Do you remember that one?
janitor? I am pulling it up right now. Oh, is that the one with like the things coming out of the eyes and around and down it?
Yeah, it has the this barbed wire wrapped around his eyes. He does that flicky thing with his tongue. He came out the bathroom because he sexually assaulted Alessa.
Yes. And it's one of, like, they figured out a way to bring it into this, and like how it's bent, and like what he did to somebody. I like the idea that you could yell at him, get bent, and he literally is. Um,
Yeah.
oh, and the things that he summoned are supposed to be symbolic of sperm.
Oh gosh, I didn't know that. Oh dang.
Sorry, I'm sitting here like looking at the. I'm
No,
like,
you're,
I have the wiki pulled up because I'm like, I think I know what you're talking about. I had to double check that and see that.
no, you're
Man,
fine.
so did you play Silent Hill: The Room?
For yeah.
That is one that I have yet to see. Can you elaborate on on what that one is about? Because that's just one of those like I have missed that entire and I've heard some people tell me it's a very good Silent Hill, and I've heard people say it is completely forgettable, and I'm not very sure.
All right. So you play as this dude named Henry. He's stuck in his apartment building for like I want to say a week, almost a week now. It's like locked out from the inside, and no one can hear him. No one can hear him bang on the window or anything like that. I don't think they can see him through the window, but he could see other people outside. Like he could see through his peephole and everything at the door. And one day he goes into this bathroom and he sees a big hole in this bathroom wall, and he'll go in. If you go in, he goes in there, and it leads to like this. I want to say ultimate dimension of like certain areas in certain areas because the I forget the name of the town he's in. It's I forget the name of the town, but it takes place between two towns. It's the town he's in and Silent Hill, and you basically go there, go through these areas that's like in either the town he's in or in Silent Hill. That's like there's one the first area you're in is in the subway area, and that's in the town he's in. And then you go to the I think it's called Wish House, and that's in Silent Hill. And you have those prisons in Silent Hill. You also have the apartment building that's in Silent Hill, and the outskirts. I forget the name. I forget all the areas because I
So
played through it and beat it once. I wasn't a big fan of it personally, and it's not because of like and thinking back on it. They did some things I didn't really care for. Like you don't run through the town of Silent Hill this time around. This is the first game where you don't do that. Um,
from
but I
what it
could give.
looks like,
Go ahead.
it's between like it's the fictional city of Ashfield
Yeah,
and Silent Hill.
yeah.
Okay.
Ashfield. There you go.
I was trying to figure out like does it are you so that means you're not in the I guess you're not in the apartments from Silent Hill 2.
No, no. You're in this purpose in Ashfield.
That's such a that's so I think what makes that so weird is that like the apartments are such a big part in Silent Hill 2, and I think every Silent Hill goes into goes into apartments if I'm not mistaken.
Uh,
I
every Silent Hill. Uh,
I'm almost 95% positive you're in apartments. Maybe not F because F's just not there, but
well, um, one you're not, and three there's no apartments in three either. There's a
really?
motel. That's about it. Two's the only one where you're really in the apartment. Two and four, for I can
Huh.
remember.
Okay. I'm going off of this off of like a very, very like I'm sitting here trying to like think about it and really like rack my head about it because this is one I haven't played. But it just when I heard that like oh you're stuck in this room and you're constantly trying to get out, it almost made sense that it would be like no you are. I guess they'd be like oh no you're sneaking. Um. You're sorry, you're ah, it would make sense that you'd be in the apartments in Silent Hill because of just how much Silent Hill 2's apartments are were like a part of it. I guess because I just played through Silent Hill 2 is why I'm going to that so much, and I'm like, no, it makes sense that, you'd be in a Silent Hill 2 apartment, or that's what would be causing it.
Yeah,
But
well, go ahead.
it's a Silent Hill that I missed, so I'm very, very curious about that one.
Well, the thing is, the apartment. I don't see it. They're not to get into spoilers. I don't want to spoil it for you or
No, go ahead,
anyone.
you can spoil it. You're good.
So the thing is, the apartment he was in, I believe. Let's go off the top of my head here. That's the apartment that I think it was. I think Walter Sullivan was born in that apartment, I believe, and he got abandoned. So he got abandoned, and then he got and he was abandoned. He was found, and then he got moved to the. I want to say he got moved to Wish House in Silent Hill, and got corrupted by the cult. And he feels that that apartment building is his mother. So that's where all that stems from. And he's doing the 21 sacraments to reunite with his mother. And 21 sacraments is killing 21 people, including himself.
21 Pilots.
Yeah. Yep.
Um, okay. So that's I guess
Yeah.
Silent Hill has that a lot. Silent Hill has a lot of something with somebody's mother. Um, oh, what is like every game feels like it has to do with like because even if you look at Silent Hill 2, with Mary, being Laura's like mother. You've got Angela, who's constantly looking for her mother, which that would now be great if that was also the apartments, because like when you fight the abstract daddy, he's like crashing through the apartment walls. It's not like it's at their house.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. Also in one, you have Dahlia, who is Alessa's mother. You
She
have what's that?
she's the cult leader, right? Who you meet in the church?
Yep.
Yep. Okay.
And in Silent Hill F, you have Hinako's mother, who's basically just allows shit to happen. And then in Silent Hill Homecoming, you have actually one of the first people you meet in that game is your mother, and then like at one point you have the choice to either kill her or don't. And I think she dies in either way. I think
Um God, Silent Hill Homecoming had so much potential.
yeah. When you were talking about the enemies in Silent Hill Homecoming, and how they don't fit, part of the reason why they don't fit is well, you remember the ending, right? How he wasn't even in the army in the first place.
Yeah, he comes back because they're like the whole thing was like, oh, you if spoilers for Silent Hill Homecoming. It was the whole thing was like, by the way, you're a soldier, you can do combat. And it's like, no, the whole thing is like you come back, you had a psychological break because you may or may not have led to the death of your younger brother,
Yeah,
and then they send you to either your parents blame you, you blame yourself, and you go to a mental institution, and then you come back with dog tags and a fucking like flight jacket, like a actually a really good like military canvas coat, which for those of you like who don't like really like those coats, spoilers, they're expensive. Like a good one is expensive. And it's like you can get dog tags anywhere. Like don't misinterpret that one. Like that doesn't bother me. But it it, it feels like the biggest kick in the dick because now nothing else makes sense in that game.
That's true. I don't know. I think they were just going for like a big plot twist and just to catch people off guard. And you don't have to do a plot twist just to make your story interesting. Just make an interesting story. I actually think, like you said, there's more potential with him actually being in the army if he actually dealt with that. Because, like you said, the enemy they could have used for that would have been incredible. It would have been Silent Hill 2 tier enemies.
Yeah, I feel like it's one of the biggest like swings and misses. And then the other thing is like, okay, he's competent with firearms and he's competent with like his knife, I think. He actually like you have like a combo with the knife.
Yeah.
But if you were locked in an institution,
How is he?
where's the competency coming from?
Maybe it was just psycho the whole time. I don't know.
I it is
Yeah, it's just
yeah, it is.
it's a I'll be honest with you though. Even through all that nonsense that they did, I still like playing the game because I think it's fun. I still get
I go ahead.
I still get a kick out of it. I don't know why. I still find it to be a fun game. Like, I think it looks cool. The gameplay is still nice. The story's stupid. The one cop you meet actually I thought that was hilarious though. The cop that's in your town and like there's a part where you're in the police station and the monsters are invading the police station and yes, this one line is hilarious. You gotta look it up.
What's the one line? I'm taking a look for that.
So let's go this way
Um,
and see a bunch of monsters. So, oh shoot, we ain't going this way. It's the way he says it is hilarious.
I, that's the so, and this is actually one of the things that I think is truly interesting about Silent Hill is, in theory, you can go to Silent Hill and it's just a town.
Yep.
Like what Angela's in Silent Hill, kind of. Um, from so if you could talk about Silent Hill 2, not Angela, Laura. Laura's this little girl that you find running about the town in Silent Hill 2, and she feels to be in this weird, I'm almost going to call it a purgatory. Um, because one of the things that doesn't make sense is, right, so James and the characters in Silent Hill 2 and a lot of the other Silent Hill games, they go through the other world, or the upside down as Mrs. Play likes to call it.
I like that. The
And then they
upside down.
also, yeah, because when she's like, oh, she's like, we're because when you're explaining to somebody who's never played a Silent Hill or seen a Silent Hill, she's like, oh, like Stranger Things, it's the upside down. And I'm like, you know what, that's actually a really fair comparison.
Yes, it is.
um but Laura, in that, other people could be in that town, and I can't, is the town supposed to be abandoned in Silent Hill 2, or is it just James goes from one part of the upside down to another part of the upside down, and it just kind of gets worse depending on where he's at?
I don't think it's supposed to be like as for like regular people. I don't think it's abandoned. I think it's just a regular town. Because like the game takes place, I believe, like in 1992. I don't think anything had happened in around that time. That like the town would have been abandoned. So I think Laura does see the town's like just like a normal place. I don't think she sees city fog or anything like that. That's just my opinion. Or maybe it is abandoned for her, but there are no monsters, that's for sure. I know that.
And like, I know that there's no monsters, but so one of the things that I think is interesting, and they start to tackle it. I'm betting some of it has to do with the some of it has to do with the limitations of the time, right? So I understand that the early games you kind of go there, the town's pretty much abandoned except for three or four characters that you'll run into throughout the entire game. And then Silent Hill, when you get to like Downpour, when you get to Silent Hill Homecoming, and some of the other Silent Hills, there are people in the town like living their lives, and we don't know to what aspect. Because I think you find in Silent Hill Homecoming, one of the characters you run into is like your childhood kind of girlfriend, and she's just living in that town, living her life. And it's almost like the main character kind of pulls her into the other side when monsters start to show up.
Mm, I never thought about that. Because I know, like with that story, that thing. The reason why all that stuff happens because they made a deal or a pact that they have to sacrifice their, was it? I believe it was their firstborn child or something like that. Every, I forget how many years it's supposed to be, but and with spoilers for Silent Hill F, with, I mean not Silent Hill F, Silent Hill Homecoming, my bad. With uh or maybe it was their youngest, I can't remember. I can't remember the age gap was supposed to be. But I believe that the main character kills Josh and it kind of fucks everything up, which is why what is happening is happening.
Because they can't do the sacrifice in
Yeah,
order to protect the town.
exactly. Yeah.
Oh. But then at the end, you can get like turned into a pyramid head.
Yeah, that was. Then he just get just strapped up and just stick a big a metal head on him. He's just pyramid head. The end.
And it's so that's actually one of the few things I have to say it's a shame for. The guy who created Pyramid Head hates that he created Pyramid Head because now Silent Hill can't get away from it.
Yeah, yeah,
And I so the one thing is like if you're going to do it as a psychological, horror game, right? I am completely fine if you always want to have like a if you always want to have like something the that haunts the main character, right? So Pyramid Head is constantly chasing you. I thought what they did for him in Silent Hill 2 Remake, where there'd be times where it's like he's going to show up because you'll be walking through a hallway and then you'll come back 10 minutes later and now there's a giant slash in that hallway.
yeah,
And it's like, oh shit, he's in here with me and I don't know where he is. Um and it's this really like terrifying aspect. And then it's like, okay, well, let's go into Silent Hill. Let's carry that forward. Let's go into Silent Hill Homecoming. Silent Hill Homecoming, you could very easily have like I'm gonna go. I think the easiest way to do it, based on like the time period and what would have happened, could have been around the time of Desert Storm 1, where we may or may not have like carpet bombed a highway in Iraq, and you could see charred people. And it's one of
ooh,
those things where you could have, what is it? Is it the pain or is it the fury from Metal Gear Solid 3, the one that's on fire, the cosmonaut?
that's the Fury.
The fury. You could have just had like an on fire monster constantly chasing him and like done something to it to make it like have a weird, you know, like it doesn't move right or it looks like a horse. Then you learn like, oh no, it's somebody like in a chair who was like trapped in their car or something like that, and they like get fused. You could have done so much with that, and it would have still been like, okay, it's gonna be hard to be as iconic as Pyramid Head, but at least we have something new. I mean, come on, Silent Hill Downpour. Do you remember what the creature was that chased you in that?
Was it the gas mask dude? Because I played
It
that one only
was.
once. Yeah. Okay.
So it was that, but then there was also a police car that would drive around the town,
Oh yeah, I remember that.
and it would, if it caught you, it would sound its siren. You could be teleported and monsters would just spawn in.
I remember the police cars now. I remember that.
It's like it's so weird. Like honestly, the boogeyman being like a gas mask executioner wearing all black, all right. It looked very Mr. X, but it was fairly interesting. And then there was that also that weird ball thing that would just chase you and could auto kill you.
Oh yeah, I remember that. Oh, I forgot about that. I've I haven't played Downpour in years. I forgot about that. That was
It
a
Yeah, it's such a weird game.
it is a weird game. And like there's a and like the people who made the game, I don't think they understood the lore as well because at one point you're in the I want to say you're in the library. I forgot which area you're in, but might have been a radio station or something like that. But the guys on the radio state, there's a guy you talk to that's on the radio, and he's like, and and he's telling you that he needs help and everything. He'll like kind of say, "I need help, help me," all this other stuff. But like, this is one line that like caught me off guard. He said that such and such is in Brookhaven Hospital getting their tonsils taken out. Please send them love or something like that. Brookhaven is a mental hospital. Is that a
That's not the hospital that you go at in Silent Hill 2, is it?
yeah, that's the one.
When did it become a mental institution though?
When did it? I don't know, but it's a
It is a mental institution.
yeah.
That's huh.
Yeah,
Because
I don't
it's
know.
weird because that's where Mary was being treated.
Was she being treated there?
I so and this is where I think Silent Hill gets really interesting to me is so Mrs. Play and I did Silent Hill remake for Halloween, and the if when you're wandering around you find, and I know you find it especially in when you get to the hotel in Silent Hill remake, the oh god, what's the name of the hotel across Crystal Lake, Toluca
Uh,
Lake?
Crystal Lake.
Yeah, I'm sorry, like it's Halloween, so I'm like, yeah, Camp Crystal Lake. That's where we were, right?
uh, Lakeview Hotel. You mean?
Yes, the Lakeview Hotel that overlooks Toluca Lake.
Yeah.
The When you wander around, you can find recordings where the doctor's like, "Hey, she should stay here because you could like, like she'll be happier. It'll make it easier for her passing." And that's kind of what they do to like allude that Mary didn't die in a hospital. She either died at home or died in that hotel somewhere. Um, which is such a like and so that's why I was like, "Oh, why were you finding stuff about Mary in the hospital?" And I'm like, "Well, if the town is like the hotel in The Shining where it is a character, then maybe it just goes, nope, this is a hospital, so this is what you feel in all hospitals."
Yeah. Yeah. Because I mean, it would make more sense for him to be in the hospital from the first game. I can't pronounce the name of it. It starts with an A, but that's like more of like your generic hospital, but that's the one that Alessa was being held in.
The Alchmelia Hospital and Brookhaven Hospital.
Yeah,
She was in Alchmelia,
yeah,
which
uh,
is different from Brookhaven.
yeah. That's like your more basic hospital,
Uh,
and Brookhaven's a mental hospital. I don't
is
know.
a mental hospital. Huh.
Yeah, but you also go back to there in Brookhaven in three, where it makes sense, and would make more sense for. I know why they did it because she was looking for a guy named Leonard, but Heather like it would make more sense for Heather to go to the hospital in the first game.
Because of what was happening to her?
Yeah, well, because that's the hospital she was being held at and everything, but she was
Oh, okay.
her original self.
The
When she
Yeah,
was
it's just such a go ahead.
no, you go ahead.
I'm trying to remember because like the first game I remember going into the church and I remember a little bit about the hospital, but I don't remember quite as much about it.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, she was being held there like underground in the base. She was like in the basement being held there for like I want to say 7 years.
so from and take this with a grain of salt because it's the AI because I don't have time to like dig into it. Alchmelia Hospital changes based on the grade on the game. For some, it's a basic hospital, but if you go back in another game and it's there, it also serves as a mental hospital. Um,
Really?
yeah, and there's St. Jerome's. It almost feels like Silent Hill follows like this a similar pattern to like Resident Evil, where Resident Evil, it's like okay, you've got town, police station, and or like security station, uh, like labs, back outside, labs again, and then like the end of the game. Like it's a very formulaic thing for most of the Resident Evils. It almost feels like it could have been that way for Silent Hill.
Yeah, that's so
Um,
true.
do you do you have a favorite representation of Otherworld in a Silent Hill game?
Three.
What was three's Otherworld?
Three was a lot like what one was: blood, rusty, dark. Um, because three is basically a sequel to one, so it makes sense for there to be similar. But it felt like the most nightmarish to me.
I
And
God.
no, you go ahead because I lost my train of thought.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm looking at it like I actually really like when Mrs. Play and I when you turn around and you'd be in the other world in Silent Hill 2 remake especially, and it felt like things hadn't been taken care of for like 50 years. It wasn't just like, oh, it's dirty and bloody. There was like a level of grime that you would have found in like a Motel 6 in the 90s.
Oh my gosh! You know what though? I will
Yeah,
say,
and yeah.
uh, uh, no, you go ahead, and I'll go after you.
Oh, but it's a very like visceral to where like the barbed wire, and I'm like, okay, the barbed wire is kind of cool, and I like the metal edginess to it, but something about Silent Hill 2 with the idea of it being like how unclean and impure James's thoughts are, I was like, oh, that's a really cool one, and then to bring that over to the spider lilies kind of happening in Silent Hill F, and it's just like it gives you a whole like Otherworld can be just as beautiful as it is horrifying. And I think
Yeah.
that's really good. Go ahead.
Um, with the original Silent Hill 2, I did not like the other worlds in that because I thought that they didn't look scary enough to me. They just looked kind of I mean, I can notice a difference. It didn't look more dirty and grimy or anything like that, but it didn't look like haunting. It didn't look really hellish to me compared to like 1 and 3. Especially 3 looks really hellish. But with the
Yes.
remake with 2, but they when we go with the remake of 2 is what I wanted with the original 2 in terms of the other worlds, because those were top tier. I was like, where was this at when I was playing the game back in 2001? Good grief. It was those other worlds. The other world in 2 is it definitely they definitely put all the stops in that one. Like you said, it's grimy, it's so dirty, and does look like a it's like an abandoned Motel 6, if anything.
The yeah, and I liked how much it like fit the aesthetic. Like I said, Silent Hill 2 really nailing this idea of guilt and trying to figure out why James would be in this world, I think is great. It adds to a deep sense of mystery for it. Um, but I also love the fact that it's like a that it's a I don't know, like it feels similar. Like you could see the inspiration from Silent Hill 1 and 3, or at least 1, but then it is its own thing and not just like, hey, this is all Otherworld can be, especially when you get to the reveal with Angela, and the Otherworld for her is just on fire.
Yeah, or like with Eddie, the other world for him is ice.
I loved that detail that they added to this game. It it felt like such a unique way to like kind of tease, especially like coming into it like knowing like, okay, I know we fight Eddie in the freezer, but like Mrs. Play, who's never seen it, being like, huh, his breath is like he's like exhaling like it's super cold. And then you see him later on and it's still cold, but he's also like eating sherbet out of a tub this time instead of the pizza. In the bowling alley, he's eating like an entire thing of sherbet.
Yeah, I think there's actually is a pizza scene in there still at the bowling alley, or you actually can
You
still go
can
to the. Go ahead.
you can find the pizza. That's one of the trophies. There's like you find the pizza just like you can find the bread in the bread in the hospital, I think. Either in the hospital, the in the Lakeview Hotel.
Nice. That's awesome. Yeah, I do. It did take out my favorite line though in Silent Hill 2. This town is full of
Which one?
monsters. How can you sit there and eat pizza?
Oh my god. It They played Eddie like such a good psychopath in this game. Like you it feels like in this game you watch him get more unhinged as it goes on. But in the first game it was kind of like, or in the original one, it was kind of like, okay, Eddie's a goofball, he's a little weird, but in this one it's like, okay, you meet Eddie and you're like, okay, bud, you've had a rough go of it. And then your second meeting of him, like, I think there's something wrong with you.
Yeah, yeah. But you kind of could tell from the get go when you first meet him, when you start in the bathroom, that and there's that dead body in the refrigerator. The first thing you see is like, "It wasn't me, it wasn't me, I didn't do it." So you knew there's
Yeah,
some.
it wasn't like, oh no, you're another one of them. It wasn't me. And it's like, dude, why are you guilty? There are monsters everywhere. But when you look at that body, I'm like, that's not a monster.
Yeah, a monster didn't do that. That was a human.
Yeah. And then is it for when you go through um oh god, when you actually beat him, which by the way, how did you like? We're gonna take some time because I know we felt like we've kind of like piled onto some of the weirdness of Silent Hill. I actually really enjoyed Remake. I know, like I listen to Super Best Friends play, and Pat will say Silent Hill 2 Remake is good, but it doesn't need to exist if you could still play the first one like in its PS2 quality. But as like somebody who's played more modern games, I thought Silent Hill Remake was a beautiful way to experience that game. And if they made all the Silent Hills kind of like that or in a similar vein, I would love to go through them all.
For me, Silent Hill 2 remake is I think it's a I think it's a very well done remake. I put it up there with the Resident Evil 1 remake that came out in 2002. It's not a one-to-one remake, but it's you still have the similar stuff that happened in the original game, but you also have enough differences to make it feel like that it's its own.
I and I like how it called out its own differences.
Yeah.
Like the game did know that it was because it would be like you'd wander into the stairwell where you fought Pyramid Head, and it would give you kind of that like flashback of like something else was here. Um, which does bring the question. So I've only played through it once. I have seen I've seen the ending where you go with Maria and she coughs and it's like uh-oh, it's like, we better go get that looked at to
Mm-hmm.
kind of insinuate, hey, this is going to repeat itself. I got the leave ending where you leave with Laura, which you're right, that is a very weird ending and it sounds like I'm like in link thinking about it, I was like, okay, we totally just kidnapped a kid, didn't we?
Yeah. Yes, we did.
But she also appears to be I think she's a child of Silent Hill. Like the town had her.
That may be it too. But my thing
Because
is
like if we're
this.
going
Go ahead.
uh-huh. No, no, go ahead.
So my thing is this. You take the kid into that car with you. There's a dead body in the car. That's what like that's what's um that's what freaks me out. There's a dead body in the car. So you're gonna be in there with a dead body the whole time? Or you're gonna be like, oh, wait a minute, I gotta get rid of this, and then just pull out a dead body and just dump it somewhere? Like, seriously?
So that one makes me think that how do I want to phrase that? I think what is in the car depends on where James like what your actions were because it almost doesn't make sense that like because Mary's been dead for what like 3 years.
Um it's 3 years. I mean, he thinks it's 3 years, but it's more so like a week.
Oh, what?
Yeah. Because remember when she asked Laura how well, she was reading that letter that Laura he's reading the letter that Mary gave Laura. And at the end she
Hmm.
says, "Happy 8th birthday, Laura." And then after that he asked her, "Hey Laura, when's your birthday?" How old are you, Laura? And she said, "I just turned 8 last week."
So hold on. His disconnect with reality from killing his wife, which I'm saying this like flippantly, is so bad that it's only been like a week. He thinks it's been 3 years.
Yeah. Well, from what I get from it is that um it's his way of handling it. He's convinced that he tries to convince himself that his wife died from the disease she had 3 years ago. He's putting his
Yeah, cancer.
I guess it was cancer. They don't really say who it was, but most likely it was cancer. But
So Mrs. Play typically
go
when
ahead.
in writing when someone says that damn disease, it's like 95% of the time it's just cancer.
Oh, you know what? I heard her say
Like
that when I was watching your video. I heard her say
yeah,
that. Yeah,
it's I was like, "Oh, that makes sense."
yeah.
Um Go ahead. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No, you're fine. But he kills his wife, and then and this is just what I feel. He tries to convince himself that she died 3 years ago from a disease to kind of like to help his psyche get through this or whatever. But obviously, he knows deep down what he did, and he won't accept what he did. That's the way I
The
That's how I interpret it.
I no, that completely like changes because the whole point like with Eddie is he kind of gets the violent vomits after he does his first kill, which is typical if like for people it's like, hey, one of the things that can happen to you if you kill somebody is you get like violently sick and so Eddie does that. And when you kill Eddie, because Eddie at the time of the fight is the first human that you have ever killed, but James doesn't get doesn't get sick from it. He's just like, and even when you get the trophy, and the trophy's like a human being, and it's like, yeah, sure, I guess, but Eddie's just as much of a monster as anyone else in there.
Yeah,
Um, I'm trying to think. So in Silent Hill 2, was there any ending in Silent Hill 2 remake that was unique to the remake?
there's this one ending actually where he's watching the tape and it's like the first part's like, "Are you taping again? Come on!" That part, um, and
Uh-huh.
like in the beginning of the tape where she's like, "Are you taping again?"
Yes.
Yeah, there's that, and he stops the tape and he leaves, and then he ends up inside the TV with Mary. So it's like he's living his life with Mary in that video. That was a new one. I never got that ending, but I
Was that
saw it
the
on YouTube.
was that like the rebirth ending?
No, the rebirth ending is when he's trying to basically resurrect her.
Oh, that was the one that does like the whole cult thing.
Yeah, it
Like
actually goes
it
back to the
actually it's
cult.
the only thing that acknowledged the cult.
Yeah,
Okay. One of the things I wasn't sure if they had done because I don't know if like when the game came out if you got caught up in like the early zeitgeist was that this was a loop. It was actually like yes, it's a remake of Silent Hill 2, but the reason that it's different is because this is James re-going through it after the events of the original Silent Hill 2.
yeah, I
So
heard
this
about
is no
that.
matter what he comes back. And that's why it's like, oh, things are in different spots, things feel familiar, but it's different. And I thought that as a especially since Silent Hill F, that is literally the point of the game now is like, hey, the game is what I think to beat the game, it's what, like 12 hours to like get to an ending.
Yeah,
But to get to the complete ending, it is, the full 40 hours for you.
yeah,
Um, I think that that is like honestly something really special and unique to two, especially if you read or like any of like DC comics where they talk about Lucifer and he goes, "You don't understand. I don't do anything to you in hell. hell is what you do to yourself to try to assuage yourself of its own guilt.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So it's if Silent Hill 2 is just James's hell because he's like, "Oh no, I killed my wife. I feel guilty." Goes through the first game. Is the in water ending like considered the canon ending, I think?
I believe so, yeah. Cause even in go back to four for a second, because James's dad, Frank, he says my son and his wife went to Silent Hill and they never came back.
Yes. I yeah, it's a huh. I like when they have those ties in there. And I've heard that there is a distinct tie between F to Silent Hill proper as well.
I've heard about that too, but I want to like beat the game as many times as I can so I get the complete ending so I can like see for myself. You know what I
I think it's
mean?
like four and yeah, I think it's four times. Yeah,
Yeah,
Mrs. Play and I like we're in the middle of Ghost of Yote, so we're not as we'll come back to Silent Hill and that'll probably be like what we do for like next year. Just do it a year late. It's fine.
yeah. I'll probably get. I mean, I didn't play Ghost of Yotze today. I was doing some other stuff, but I'm gonna probably play some more of that tonight after I eat my dinner, and then I'll probably play some Silent Hill F tomorrow to like
Okay.
kind of go back to it.
Yeah.
I was gonna do a review for it, but I don't feel like it's the right time to do it.
You don't think it's the right time of to do a review for Silent Hill F or Silent Hill 2?
Silent Hill F, like I want to do more. I want to play it again, so I want to get like a real good grip on the story. You know what I mean? I want to know more about what's going on because it's very very
Yeah.
it's was bleak or it doesn't tell you much.
No. Um from the very little bit I played, it was quite like stark and like I was like this is interesting, especially coming off of Silent Hill 2. It felt very different in some ways because it also has that like run mechanic where it's like you can't there is no fight here. You need to run.
Yeah.
Um but I am genuinely very interested in that. Uh that being said, do you have any Silent Hill spin-offs or like maybe not Silent Hill games, but Silent Hill-esque games that you would also recommend outside of the Silent Hill franchise?
Silent Hill S games. I want to say it's Silent Hill esque, but Fatal Frame is a good one. I beat the first Fatal Frame a while back. That's a good game. I want to play 2 and 3 as well. I don't know if
I
you
think
heard
I've
this
heard
game.
of that.
What's up?
I've heard of Fatal Frame. I have heard of that one.
Yeah, okay. There's another game called Siren. That's kind of like Silent Hill beats Resident Evil. Like, I played a little bit of that one. That was an interesting one. I can't say I would recommend it because I never really went through the game completely. Trying to think. Silent Hill S games. Uh, I can't think of any real ones. That's probably the only two that really come to mind. Do you have any?
So I'm actually super new into the survival horror genre. The only other games that I have beaten that are survival horror are I was about to say Metal Gear Solid, Resident Evil 4 and Resident Evil 5. I have not beaten any other and now Silent Hill 2. Um I played the first ones and I beat those, but like I played those when I was much younger and didn't necessarily understand them. Uh so it's quite it's been interesting because like my wife and I like we don't seek out horror. It's just not something that either one of us are really into. So
That's
to like
fair.
turn around and play Silent Hill 2 and be like, this has so much to say, or to watch like a good like all around, like Stanley Kubrick's The Shining. Like it is a peak scare like horror movie or psychological thriller is quite new for us. So that's not completely what I am used to.
Yeah. Well, Silent Hill in itself, it's its own. It's unique in its own right. So it's like it's kind of hard to find a game like that because I really can't think of a game that's like that. I mean, Fatal Frame does deal with the supernatural, but and it is its own survival horror game, but it doesn't. It's not Silent Hill. Like you don't go through different worlds or anything like that. There's no other world or anything like that. And same thing with Siren. It's just supernatural stuff. At least I think it's supernatural with Siren. I can't remember. And of course, Resident Evil is Resident Evil. That's more bioterrorism.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the RE games will be next for us just because of the silly science that takes place in most of those games.
Yeah. It's insane. Like the science in Resident Evil just got ridiculous. Like now you're
Yeah, no, it's the G virus, which stands for the genome virus, which is every virus.
oh my gosh. And then you
Oh,
have
I want to take my wife through those.
the Las Plagas that it is basically acts as a puppet to your body, but it can also like give you powers.
But the thing is like it's the name. It's oh, this is the Las Plagas. This is the plague. Yes.
And then in five, what was it? Ouroboros. It's basically Las Plagas, but just more aggressive. At least from what I get.
Yeah. I forget what the deal was with the Ouroboros. Um, I just remember how overtly like racist Five was.
oh boy.
Oh, oh my God! Just it's just the fact that it's like if you pick up the one thing when you go through the swamp, and it's like, yeah, I don't know, my family fell sick, and then they started putting on the masks of their ancestors and running around like crazy. I'm like, oh, we're not going to justify it this way. You're going to justify it this way. Oh, Japan. Oh,
Yeah, Japan is very tone deaf. I remember when five first came out, like there's so much like controversy with it, with the Africanized zombies and everything. And like there were comments from people who were defending the game, but they made comments that like kind of pissed me off because they were like, because like they wouldn't see what other people were trying to say. It's like no, it's kind of like it's like I don't think it's a racist. That part is pretty bad, what you just mentioned, but like inadvertently, like going to Africa, like going to having Africanized zombies isn't racist, but at the same time, it's like you look at through history. Like look at history, though, it doesn't look like the best. It doesn't look it doesn't look cool. I don't say it doesn't look cool. I don't know how to say it. It's weird.
I am trying to find it for you, and if I can find it, it's an old penny arcade. Um, it's an old penny arcade like thing for Resident Evil 5. Um, and it makes fun of like one of the it it makes fun of like one of the abilities that like just within it. Oh, and I can't find it. It's gonna eat me. But it in the long and short of it is, it's like, hey, I got this thing for killing so many people in Resident Evil 5, and it was right after it came out, and it was like called 2K Scary Ghost.
Oh my gosh.
And it just puts him in, like, when I was younger and it came out, I didn't get it. And as an adult, I'm like, oh, that's a really good joke. That is not an okay joke to make. And it's just like him like running around, and you're like, this is insane. And I oh god, I wish I could,
Yeah.
if I can find it, I will do my best to, but it is great.
I'll say this about the game too. What they should have did. Like I said, I'm fine with it taking place in Africa, whatever. I don't think that's racist or anything like that. But what they should have did was with the trailer, they should have showed Chris and Sheva together. Had they done that, I think the whole controversy would have been. I mean, there was still been some controversy, but I don't think it would have been nearly as bad. And what makes sense to show Sheva because it's a co-op game. That's just my take.
I completely agree with you. I think I do think it is one of those things that's like the the game could have been shown off so much better than it was, especially like, oh, hey, let's why did they go to Africa? Well, it's the cradle of human life. Oh, okay, cool. And once you did that, I was like, okay, this could easily go into like really bad Resident Evil, sciences where they're like, no, this is where they're going to find the original Tyrannus virus. It's like I thought they created that, but they created it off of this idea, and that could be what I think is really good. And instead, we just got uh, it was just a very very weird time for it. But yeah, thank you so much for joining me, Adrian, for this really roundabout talk of Silent Hill 2 and other scary games. Um, what do you have coming up for yourself in the future?
um, let's see here. Like I said, I do want to get back to playing Silent Hill F, and I will do a review for that eventually. But I want to do it where I feel more comfortable talk about the game completely, where I could actually get my thoughts across. Same thing with Silent Hill 2. I think I tried to rush those at the time. And I just didn't feel comfortable putting those out. That's why I didn't have anything out in October. But I'll be working on those. I'm actually this is gonna be fun. I'm gonna try and do some speed runs of Resident Evil 2. I know it's not Silent Hill, but I'm gonna try to do speed runs of Resident Evil 2. I looked at a person who beat the game in like 20 minutes, and I'm gonna try to do my own personal speed run. I won't reach 20 because I don't have the Japanese port of the game. And the Japanese port, the text is smaller. You can skip cutscenes and all this other stuff. I can't skip the cutscenes, but I can skip the door opening sequences still. So I'm gonna be doing that. I'm gonna make a video of me trying to beat the game as fast as I can. There's that. And I have an Xbox video I want to make too. Two of them actually. Because if you don't know by now, it's gonna be 20 years since the 360 came out.
Oh no.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
20 years since the 360?
20 years since the 360. I think that. Hold on.
I
Actually,
want you to be wrong.
Huh? Let me see when that came out. Hold on. Xbox 360 release.
November 22nd, 2005.
Oh, you beat me to it. See?
Yeah, because I wanted you to be wrong. I wanted to call you a dirty liar and just tell you to.
I'm a clean truth teller, sucker.
I was like, no, that's impossible.
That's not true. Search your feelings. You know it's true. Oh man.
Oh, okay. Oh, I'm gonna go upstairs and start taking some baby aspirin.
Yep. Yep. We're old, man. We're old.
I'm in my 30s. Yeah, this is
I'm in my 30s too.
Yeah.
We're
Thank
old.
you so much for joining me. Yeah. On this horrible trip down memory lane now. We said we were going to get there, and we did. Thank you so much, Adrian, for joining me for this. I'm sorry for all the mix-ups early on, but I do look forward to talking to you about more stuff sometime in the near future. Um,
Oh,
look forward to seeing the Xbox video. I think that'll be a lot of fun. I also look forward to seeing the speed run. I love watching AGDQ every year, so I think watching you try to beat a game that takes me months in 5 minutes is going to be a great time.
it's not gonna take me 5 minutes. It'll take probably about 20 or 30.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry. The one episode length it's going to take you to beat this, like, mm.
It's gonna be fun. I'm excited for it. But before you leave, what do you have coming up?
Oh, for us coming up, so this is actually going to air just after. So I'll have just finished Extra Life. Um, Mrs. Play and I are going to be back into Fable 3. Um, I just got back the PlayStation 3 that I was using, so I am hoping for Nick and I to finish out the original Metal Gear Solid 3, um, and then possibly doing the Killzone franchise with Nick, at least 1, 2, and 3. We will go back and see if we want to do 4 or if we want to even attempt doing Liberation. Um, and then he really wants to go through. Uh, he really wants to go through Metal Gear Solid 4. So I think I might have to suck it up and go through Metal Gear Solid 4. And then after that, I'm hoping Tyler and I, we're hoping a little bit, probably about a month or so, to try to get back into recording some, or streaming and then posting Paper Mario and the OnlyFans paywall.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because that's what we need for our PG rating. But thank
Mhm.
you so much for joining me. Um, everyone, I will have a link to all of Adrian's stuff down below, so that way you guys can see him over on Twitch, YouTube, Twitter, and Blue Sky. I have all this correct for you?
Yeah. Oh, sorry, my bad.
No, you're good. But yeah, remember that you're all winners out there. Take care of your friends here and elsewhere. Keep it weird and have a fantastic rest of your day, everybody.